We're talking today with Minna, the founder of Empower You, who just finished the first screening of the documentary It Happened Here. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went, Minna?
I'm enrolling the program throughout the county, and I just finished my first one for 400 students, and we showed the documentary It Happened Here, and we followed it with a discussion period on themes and topics that were discussed in the documentary, and then had a question and answer period.
Well, with so many students, I'm sure that you were able to make lots of observations. What do you think shocked the students the most after watching the documentary?
Well, there were definitely two main things that shocked a lot of the students. One being that as soon as they said the statistic 1 in 16 men will be sexually assaulted, you could definitely see and tell that the boys in the room were shocked. And as soon as they'd heard this, they thought originally and probably thought that it was more of a girl issue, and then as soon as they'd heard this fact, they were shocked beyond belief and really started to get engaged and ask questions and focus, so that was good. And then the other thing that really shocked students was that most people think that if you're going to be sexually assaulted, it's going to be someone in a bush that's going to jump out at you and attack you, or a guy in a van with candy, but as shown in the documentary, all 4 of the girls who spoke were sexually assaulted by someone who was their friend and someone that they knew. And so that shocked a lot of the students as well.
Okay. And for you personally, what was the most satisfying to see after doing this event?
Well, I was really satisfied when I saw people start to get really engaged and participate a lot, and when they looked excited or interested or just wanting to know more about this topic that isn't talked about a lot. And so seeing people get interested and wanting to know more on something that's not talked about at all made me feel really good.
Great. And what do you think that students got out of this event and watching the documentary It Happened Here?
Well, they definitely learned about consent and what consent is, and they also learned about being a bystander. And so I feel with this information that they learned, that they'll be able to know what to do if they're in one of these situations, or if it happens to their friend, they'll know how to help.
And what about if somebody wants to, who's watching this, wants to watch the documentary or get some more information? What's your advice on that?
Go on to the website ithappenedhere.org, and you can get more information on the film and ways to watch the entire film. And also for information on Title IX tips and facts, and how to get involved in the sexual assault movement, you can go on to stopsexualassaultinschools.org, and feel free to go on to my website empowerusrq.com to take the pledge against sexual assault.
Thank you, Minna.
Thank you. What surprised you most about the documentary It Happened Here?
A lot of the stories that happened, and they were pretty convincing stories, and it seemed like it's a big issue.
What surprised you most about the documentary It Happened Here?
What surprised me most was that the schools didn't do as much as they could about it, and how often it happened to women. It was 1 in 5 women get raped in college, and that's a little much and kind of unnecessary.
What did you find most relatable about the people in this documentary's experiences?
I found that being in a situation where you're uncomfortable or don't necessarily know how to respond to or get yourself out of it right away.
Had you heard of sexual assault on college campuses previous to this documentary, and what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, I've heard about sexual assault on campuses in the news and stuff. I've heard about it before, and my reaction was, I've only saw it on the news and thought that it only happened to a little bit of people, but I was surprised by how many people it actually happens to and how many people don't speak up about it.
What shocked you most about the documentary?
What shocked me most was that the victims knew the people and that they were friends with them.